Well, Terry, here we are. This is my first time I'm doing this, Terry. So you're gonna have to give me a little leeway on this. I did a on-site and I've actually done a lot of business with our guest today. This is Kim Wilcox from Chic and Cozy Consignment. And she's an expert in the furniture business. And we know that a lot of our members are always wondering what to do with their furniture and what do you do when you get new furniture. So Terry, say hello to my new friend, Kim.
Hi, Kim. It's great to meet you. Appreciate you joining us today.
Well, thank you for the invitation, Terry.
So we're here, we're in Henderson. This is kind of on the east side of town. And I have recommended this store to a lot of my clients that move from moving just across the city or moving from another state. And I thought it would be really cool that we could maybe give some information about downsizing, decluttering, getting new furniture and stuff. So Kim, how did this store get started? And tell me a little bit about your history and how you got into the furniture business.
Well, I was struggling in my job and I thought I wanted to move back to Durango, Colorado. So I went to a website called Biz Buy Sell and I saw they had a consignment store for sale in Durango, Colorado. And it just planted a seed in my head.
Yeah.
And so I did. I went and worked for Colleen's Classic Consignments for a few months so I could kind of figure out what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
Then I got another job that I hated. And then I wanted to go to the Albuquerque Balloon Festival and my boss wouldn't let me off. So I quit, went to the balloon festival, came back and started looking for space to rent. And so I rented just a 3,000 square foot space on Eastern and Pebble.
I see. Okay.
And then during the pandemic, I got the opportunity to move to here, which is over 14,000 square feet.
So she went from 3,000 to 14,000. That's a lot, Terry. And by the way, Albuquerque, the balloon festival, that's always been on my bucket list. That must
It was
be
cool.
Yeah, that must be amazing. So, for some of our listeners, my background was in martial arts, and I kind of had a similar story. I had 1,000 square feet 100 years ago. Well, it was actually 1985, and then I had to move into a bigger studio. Is that kind of what happened to you? You just 3,000 square feet for a furniture store is probably a little on the small side.
It was, but you know, it was just me. I was there 6 days a week, and then I usually had like a part-time guy to help me move furniture, a high school student. When the pandemic completely shut down my business, completely shut it down, I got an email from Consign Pro, which is my software company. And they're like, go online. So I spent the next couple of weeks taking pictures and measurements and everything and going online, and that has taken off.
Yeah.
And now I've got 9 fabulous employees.
9 employees too. Wow. And I mean, this store is amazing. I can't really walk around because I brought my big computer. I wanted to make sure this was a special podcast, Terry, but what kind of questions do you have? Because I know I have some in my mind, and talking about furniture, and for all of our members out there, what are some questions that you had?
Well, Kim, my first question is, well, my first statement is that a lot of people who leave California say, I wish I had given away, sold a lot more furniture and started over again. Do you run into people like that who come into your store
Every day.
They're like starting from scratch?
Every day we get people in that situation. Excuse me. And they're coming to the perfect place to get affordable furniture, and it's quality furniture. So we get that every day.
I can attest to the quality furniture. I have some in my house. See, you got her all choked up, Terry, with that question. Your first question, you got her choked up. So when we talk about,
I get that a lot.
we talk about downsizing and decluttering. Let's just say, for example, one of our members was to call you and they said, I've got a house full of furniture. We're not sure that we're not in love with all this furniture, but we love some of the pieces. What advice would you give them? Would you say, you know what, why don't you, because maybe they're just kind of lost on the furniture.
And they live here locally.
They live in California and they're moving to Southern Nevada. So what would you say to them?
Sell their furniture and come here and buy affordable furniture, affordable quality.
Find a consignment store in California and do the same thing there.
Exactly.
And they're all over. Yeah. So go ahead, Terry. You look like you had something on your mind.
Well, I just wanted to know, how does the consignment process work? I used to deal with a consignment store in California, but I don't know if it's different in different places, but how does it exactly work?
Well, what we do is we ask if they live locally to send us really good pictures of the items they're interested in consigning to my email address. And then we get back to them and we let them know if we're willing and or able to consign their items. If so, we'll work with them to set the price. It'll be a 40-60 split because rent here is not cheap.
Yeah.
And it'll be that price for 30 days. If an item's here beyond 30 days, it'll be reduced 20% price. And if an item is here past 60 days, it'll be reduced 50% off the original price. And regardless, they get 40% of whatever we sell the items for.
I imagine that some people get really passionate about their furniture. And do you find that they agree most of the time with you on price?
They do. Generally, they do. We're kind of experienced. We kind of know what things will sell for.
Sure. Yeah, that
And
makes sense.
yeah. And so, yeah, it generally goes pretty well. And you know what? Honestly, people are just usually looking to get rid of stuff.
That's my next question.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that they if they're going to put it in a consignment store, they probably want to get rid of it. And I actually have witnessed this. I didn't share this with you, but I've seen people that were surprised when she calls them and she goes, "Hey, I sold your thing, and here's a check for $500." I mean, they're happy about it and they're surprised. Oh, I didn't think we were going to get that much for it. So it's really kind of a cool process. But how do you deal with people that you ever find that they're like so attached to it that maybe they need to just let it go?
Yeah. But you know what? We always tell people we'll find a good home for it. That's what we do. We tell
Just like,
people
like an animal.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, we'll find a good home for it.
Yeah,
And that generally makes people feel good.
right. And then so going back to the people in California, is it as simple as just looking it up and Googling consignment stores near me?
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. And I imagine, Terry, they must have a ton of consignment stores in California.
Well, they certainly had them in my area in the East Bay. Kim, let me ask you this. Can people go online and look at your inventory?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to chicandcozyconsignments.com. So it's CHICANDCOZYCONSIGNMENTS.com.
Well, I hate to say something negative.
Right.
Imagine we say
And
something.
tell us what kind of furniture can you get at?
Chic and Cozy? You can find all kinds of interesting things.
Terry, are you able to hear us?
It's a little bit spotty. I don't know if it's me. I still have a decent amount of wind blowing here in Central Florida, and I don't know if you, but it's showing you have yellow to red bars on your internet, David.
Yeah. So it may be a little bit spotty, but before
It's
she
better
answers,
now.
yeah, before she answers that question, I was gonna say it's a little bit on the negative side. I think the biggest thing we have in Las Vegas for negative advertising to me is the attorneys. I mean, if you're injured in an accident, that's the number one. I mean, you see those tons and tons and tons of time. But when the second one I see all the time is furniture stores, Walker Furniture, and all these big conglomerates of furniture. And so along the lines of your question, because there's so many people advertising brand new furniture, what can somebody save, and talk about your inventory and how they can see it?
Well, again, if they go to chicandcozyconsignments.com, it's a brand new website and it's really cool. It's all segmented by new arrivals, dining room, bedroom, living room, art, lights, all that kind of stuff. And they can get a sample of what we've got here in the store. And
well, so my question is, and I have some of her pieces in my house because I just moved into a new house, and it's amazing. Terry, I got a $4,000 desk for $100. I probably shouldn't say that.
No, I actually like it when people get good deals.
And then I got a $2,500 dining room table that didn't have any chairs. I got that for $150, and it looks amazing. So I can definitely attest to it. But what kind of savings can people expect when they go to a consignment store?
Well, we generally price things 1/2 to 1/3 of their original price. So, and we do try to take things in excellent shape. So everything looks pretty much brand new. I have a lot of people come in and they say, looks like a new furniture store. And I'm like, no, it's all consignment.
Well, you know, the cool thing too about, and I've dealt with several of her employees is, you know, one of the things that we always talk about on our show is that we don't have realtors and lenders that are trying to sell you something. We want to talk to you. We want to have real conversations and try to help you before we start trying to sell you something. And it was really cool because I believe that her salespeople that she's hired, they will help. And people come in with a picture like I did, and they're like, no, I don't think that'll work. Or here, maybe come over here. So they're not just trying to sell you a piece, but they're actually trying to help you make your home more homier. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that with your, how you train your people, because they're amazing.
You know, I've got just instinctively really good, good staff people, salespeople. They've all been in the business for a while or shopped here a bunch, and now they work for me, and they're just all very happy. And
yeah, they are very happy. I definitely could
well,
attest
not
to.
overly happy.
No, not too much. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're cool.
So, any other things that I may have missed on the front? I never thought we'd be talking about furniture, Terry, but go ahead.
What do, Kim, what is the one thing that you are surprised that sells the most in your store?
You know, dining room sets. Dining room sets. You know what? I either have 50 or 20. You know what? They just, it's so funny because this dining room section will get so packed that you can't even walk through it. But now we've got a lot of space, and we've been selling a lot of dining room tables later.
Dining room sets are really, because some of the prices in the new stores are crazy how much they get for a dining room set. But the prices are great. And, you know, as we come to a close on our show, I hope this has been helpful for people that are wondering what to do with your existing furniture and thinking about, and it doesn't have to be in Southern Nevada. You could be moving to Nashville. You could be moving to Knoxville, Miami, Orlando, where Terry is, and they have consignment stores. So it's definitely an option. But for our members that are, maybe they're on the fence, they're not sure if they're going to be leaving or not, and furniture is a thought in their mind. Do you have anything else that you would want to share with somebody that is just from a furniture sense?
Well, we get really unique things. As a matter of fact, right now I've got a Nefertiti statue. It's really cool. So people come in and they never know what they're going to find here.
That is cool. There's hidden gems everywhere. And if you're looking for hidden gems, I could definitely help you as far as housing and restaurants and places to go in Las Vegas. And Terry, again, as we're wrapping up our segment 42 of Leaving California Freedom, and we're talking about furniture, is there anything else that you want to add?
Well, we know that we have under our files tab, we have a great list of movers who are personally, I know them personally, all of them. They're all family-owned businesses, but they serve the country. But again, we hear a lot of people who say, man, I have too much furniture. I should have just left what I had or a lot of what I had and bought somewhere else. Well, if you don't want to go buy new furniture, because I guarantee you, I've been in many consignment stores, and I'm sure Kim's is the same way. Just as she said, you go in there like, oh my gosh, this is new. Why am I spending 3 times, 4 times bought something like this? And it's just so much more affordable.
Yeah. And again, I'm here with Kim Wilcox. We're down by Eastern and St. Rose in Henderson. And Kim, I really want you to be able to have the ability to give your phone number and your website to all of our listeners in case they're thinking about getting some furniture. Go ahead.
Our phone number is 702-778-1443. I'll tell you again, it's 702-778-1443. And just go to my website, chicandcozyconsignments.com. And chic is spelled CHIC.
Oh, yes. And Terry, I'm going to give you a quick tour real quick. And I don't know how well this will work, but I'm going to give it a shot. This store has how many square feet?
Over 14,000.
Over 14,000 square feet. And it just goes on and on. She's got pictures. She's got amazing things, little hidden gems. It goes all the way back in the corner back there. So you just got to come and see for yourself, because there's just a ton of amazing things. I hope everybody's having a great week. Again, it's David Berry, and this is episode 42. We'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kim.
What are we going to do next, Terry? Let's this was awesome. Thank you for joining me, Terry. I'll see you we have another one at 5 today. 5 o'clock my time.
Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It was nice to meet
Thanks,
you.
David.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. End the meeting. Come on. Go.